Hey everybody, it's Frank the Tank here, and I am back on the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB 15, the show. So this is the 10th episode of the Pirates franchise. I've been having a ton of fun playing this franchise. We're doing really well. The method we've been going is, playing a game, and I try to sim 5 so that the next starter is somebody that you haven't seen yet, or that we pitch with all 5, sort of like a rotation by simming those games in between. But now what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm going to start playing some important games, some division showdown games. For example, I might pitch this first game in Miami with Burnett. I'm definitely going to play one of these 4 games in San Diego because I like Petco Park. I'm going to play one of these games in San Francisco because I like, the Giants Stadium, AT&T Park. Then I might not play one until we play, one of these in Chicago. I want to play one of these in Washington. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through games that I want to play, not necessarily follow a distinct pattern or a distinct routine. But for this video, since this is the 10th episode, we're going to go through, we're going to check some of the statistics for some of our guys. We're going to look how some guys in our minor league systems are doing, see if anybody needs promoted, see if anybody needs demoted, and also check out some possible trades. So we're going to jump into it with our league leaders. Batting average, we have our catcher Francisco Cervelli third with a .350 batting average, followed by Andrew McCutchen with a .333 average. So 2 guys in the top 10 is nice. Hits, we have Andrew McCutchen at number 3 with 54, and we have Starling Marte tied for 10th with 46. Starling Marte is tied for 3rd in doubles with 12. McCutchen 13th with 10. Nobody on here for us in triples. Neil Walker 6th with 10 home runs. McCutchen tied with him at number 6 with 10 home runs. McCutchen 2nd in RBIs. McCutchen 1st in runs. Starling Marte 1st in stolen bases. Garrett Cole tied for 2nd with 5 wins. Mark Melancon tied for 11th with 10 saves. Nobody on the ERA leaderboards. All our pitchers have high ERAs. Strikeouts, Frankie Liriano here with 8, number 8 with 56. So we're going to check some individual statistics here. Andrew McCutchen currently on a hot streak, hitting .333 with 10 homers and 38 RBIs. 10 doubles, 5 stolen bases. Only 27 strikeouts. He's doing well. Neil Walker, .291. So we see some guys here. Pedro Alvarez, hitting .239. That's not bad. 9 home runs. That's decent for him. Pretty happy with that. The average is a little low, but those home run numbers will be there, and we really need him down the stretch. So we're going to go to our... Let's look at our AAA roster, the Indianapolis Indians. See if we have anybody sticking out. Nobody with crazy average. Pitchers, Brad Lincoln, .77 ERA. He could be somebody we definitely add to the bullpen. Jamison Tyone, 1-4, but he has a 1.62 ERA. Tyler Glass now 4-0 with a 1.95 ERA. Wow. We might promote one of these 2 very soon. I don't really like what Jeff Locke's been doing. Actually, we're going to go take a look at our pitching staff. So Garrett Cole 5-2 with a 3.6 ERA. Francisco Liriano 2-1 with a 3.88. Sonny Gray 4-3 with a 4.18. That's not too great. Burnett 3-2 with a 2.98. Jeff Locke 3-2 with a 4.31. So we might try to get one of those guys up to replace Locke. Jared Hughes has been pitching great out of the bullpen, 1.8 ERA. Melancon 2.19 ERA with 10 saves. Holdscomb not pitching too great. Caminero 3.86 ERA, which isn't terrible, but he does have 20 strikeouts. Tony Watson, that's a surprise, with a 5.5 ERA. Bastardo, good ERA. So yeah, we're not doing too bad there. But I do want to go over our lineups. Now, we did just get Josh Harrison back. He doesn't register for the batting lead because his 351 average is only in 77 at bats because he's just coming off that injury. But I think everyone's been doing pretty well. I kind of want to jump on the trade screen and see what we can get for Pedro Alvarez. Hasn't been hitting terrible, but he hasn't been doing really great either, especially out of the cleanup spot. And maybe add somebody else to the bench. As you can see, our bench hasn't been doing too bad. But we're going to jump onto that trade screen really quick and just run Alvarez through. So if we select Pedro Alvarez and hit square for suggest trades, we will see what comes up. See if anything catches our eye here. We want somebody obviously MLB ready. I don't really want to prospect unless it's like a can't miss type deal. But so far nothing really tickling our fancy here. And I don't have a problem holding on to him. I just kind of wanted to see what's out there. Because he isn't a player I'm heart set on keeping. But if we can't really get anybody who's going to help our cause, it's not really worth trading him. Steve Pearce wouldn't be a bad trade. As you can see here, he can play first base and left field as well as right field. 68 contact against righties, 75 against lefties, 61 and 81 power. So his contact is a lot better than Pedro. Does have better contact, or does have better power against righties, or against lefties by a lot. And 61 power against righties isn't too bad. 56 fielding. Pedro has a 72 fielding, which I don't know how Pedro has a 72 fielding. Pedro, we only have him one more year at $2.1 million. Steve Pearce is only one more year at $1.8 million. So this really isn't a salary move. But on the year, Steve Pearce in 31 games has 5 home runs, 11 RBIs with a 2.99 average. I don't know about this one. I kind of want to make this trade. But I don't know. We definitely don't have a lot of lefties in our lineup, so it would be tough to see Alvarez go. But he really, really struggles against left-handed pitching. And Steve Pearce is somebody he could bring in and do well against righties or lefties. Very versatile. He could play right field, left field, first base. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you think we should do this deal, if you think we should shop around a little more, and let me know who you want to see come up. I really want to bring up Glass now, or Jamison Tyon to make their big league debuts, and I'm gonna do that. I want to have their debuts at home, so it's gonna be not this homestand, but maybe one of these 3 against Milwaukee, or one of these 3 against Philadelphia. So that's where we stand right now. We have we have to look at the standings. So right now we are 26 and 15. We are first place in the National League Central Division. 3 games ahead of Milwaukee, 4 games ahead of St. Louis, 10 games ahead of Chicago, and 12.5 ahead of the Cincinnati Reds. So we have a 0.634 winning percentage. So we are second in the majors in win percentage behind the Atlanta Braves. So we're doing really well right now. Want to keep this going. I think that we can make a run, definitely for the postseason and maybe even for the World Series. We're playing really well. I do want to call up one of those young pitchers, though, before we go to the trade. Go looking at the trade market for a pitcher. But let's just throw Jeff Locke in here really quick and see what we can get. Maybe add somebody to our bench. Caleb Joseph isn't a bad catcher to add to our bench. Nothing really sticking out too far, but I would not be opposed to trading Jeff Locke and calling up either Jamison Tyon or Tyler Glass now. So like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm going to shuffle through these a little more. Nothing really sticking out to me. but I can revisit this, mess with it, throw a couple players in. We do have, 12.2 million, or we have 13.9 million in cap space to play with. So I think that's going to do it for this video. That's where we stand right now. We're doing really, really well. Keep an eye out for the next gameplay coming in the next day or two. We're going to jump into one of these games against Miami. Then we're going to play in San Diego and then off to San Francisco. So please like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. I am dropping MLB 15 The Show content every single day. Sometimes multiple videos per day depending on what my schedule is like. But I really appreciate the support. I've been having a ton of fun with this series. We're going to continue. Like I said, let me know in the comment section a few things. Who you think we should call up? What we should do with Pedro Alvarez, if we should make that trade to the Orioles for Steve Pearce. What we should do with Jeff Locke. And any other moves that you guys would like to see me make within reason. I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. This is Frank the Tank.